Welcome, Valkyrie fans. Well, we got the win at Ballhalla. I swear the Ballhalla is the Sparks kryptonite because they've been playing really well and they just don't look the same when they play us, especially here. So, before I get going, please help me out and hit that subscribe button. Trying to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the season. We'll see if we can get that done. Anyway, on to my observations from this game. And the thing that showed up, and it was so blatant, was the defense. That defense, that swarming defense came back. And I don't know where it went for a little while, but it was back. And it was all over the place. And it was so nice to see because that defense makes good teams look bad. Makes them look bad and gets them frustrated, and they have nowhere to drive. They have nowhere to throw hit a cutter. We gave no easy layups. I can't remember one easy layup the entire game. Just absolute swarming defense. So, I don't know I think we have 14 games left. And the next, I was looking ahead with the next. We have Connecticut, and then I think we have Washington and Atlanta, and I think maybe Chicago. I'll have to look. I'll have to double check. But we should, if those are the games, we should win at least 3 out of the 4. Provided we play that swarming defense, and we just shoot okay. If we shoot okay and swarm like that, the only teams that are probably going to beat us are Minnesota and New York. And maybe if Phoenix is hitting threes. But I think we could beat every other team if we play like that. And we could even beat them, especially without Fee. I mean, the Mystics almost beat Minnesota the other day. So the interesting things are happening with the standings. We've had some teams that are ahead of us lose, so they're starting to drop. And we are now even in the loss column with Seattle. And we've beaten them, 2 out of 3 times. And we got to play them one more time. So that'll be interesting. But as far as this game goes, we had great performance by Veronica Burton. She is getting better and better as the season is going on. And they also mentioned that she's the only starter that has started every single game for the Valkyries. We've had people, Tipe's broke her nose, so she was out. Salon didn't join the team till later. Temi Fagbenley had Eurobasket, so she was out. Zandalacini didn't start till later. But, oh boy, if we can keep her shooting those threes. It seems like every time she's come back when she's joined the team, she needs like a game to get going. And, boy, this one, she got that 4 threes in the first half. That gave us 12 points. That was wonderful. And then Salon hit some. Carla Late hit some. Veronica Burton hit a couple. And then just great drives to the hoop. That was happening. I mean, Hayes does that almost all the time. And Burton was doing it. And just playing fantastic defense on Plum. Plum was really, she only scored 4 points. She might have scored something in addition to that late in the game, but she had 4 points. She had nowhere to go. They were all over her. She just couldn't get anything done. And then when she did, the couple times she did get by Burton, the swarm showed up. She had nowhere to throw the ball. Nowhere. So, one of the things I wanted to mention was I was really nervous about this game, and I actually didn't watch it from the start. I was in the middle of watching Taurasi. If you have Amazon Prime and you haven't watched it yet, check it out. It's very good. I grew up in Connecticut. I have an affinity for UConn. Not that I went to that school, but it's like the professional team in Connecticut until the Sun showed up. It's the only professional team in the state of Connecticut, and it looks like they're going to be losing that. So UConn is kind of the state's main, sports team, and especially with how good they've been over the years. So it's a 3-part series, and I was in the middle of watching that, so I thought, well, I'll just watch it later. And I was nervous because I thought, oh boy, I don't want to get my heart broken again and see the Sparks beat us. And even though I knew we had a chance because we've beaten them, I mean, the only time they've beaten us is the first game of the season. And I thought, oh, but we could beat them. And then, when we lost to the Aces, and I was just nervous about it, and I wanted to finish watching the Taurasi thing. So I highly recommend it. You should go watch it. It was very good. So I picked up the game in the fourth quarter and saw we were ahead, and then I was like, oh, yay. So the other thing I was thinking about was, we have the Late Show with Carla Late. I was thinking about some sort of combination name, like if you ever watched Castle, the TV show that was, I don't know, it was back in 2008 or something, somewhere around there. And they had Casket, for Beckett and Castle. We need a name for Carla Late and Veronica Burton. I was thinking Leighton, something like that. The Leighton Show, or, because they both drive to the hoop so well. And they're just a good combination of guards. So anyway, if you think of something, put it in the comments. See if we can come up with something. Maybe even add Tiffany Hayes in there too. If we maybe combine all 3 of their names. That might be tougher to do. But that might be fun. I was just thinking of something like, because we have the Late Show. So just a little addition onto that to include Veronica Burton. Excuse me. I get this tickle in my throat in the summer times. So the Valkyries get the win, 72-59, and I'm guessing that is a season low for the Sparks. I can't think of a game where they scored less points than that. So we outscored them 19-14 in the first, 14-9 in the second. They only scored 9 points in that second quarter. Then they outscored us in the third, 25-23, and then we got them 16-11 in the fourth quarter. So, yep, the swarming defense made them shoot really bad. They shot 32% from the floor. They were 23% from 3. Let's see, what rebounds? We out-rebounded them 37-31. We shot 44% and 35% from 3. Let's see. We had 13 turnovers. They had 12. The turnovers didn't... we didn't get many points off their turnovers. We only got 6. But they only got 13, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But it was really showing in our... Just the swarming defense made them really bad. Bricea Jackson was 3 for 10. She had 8 points. Hamby had 15. Julie Allman had 10. Ray Burrell had 10. Those are your only 3-point scorers. Plum had 4 points. She was 1 for 9. 0 for 4 from 3. Azari Stevens only had 4 points. She usually scores like 20 points. So does Plum. Stevens only shot 4 times, 1 for 4. She was 1 for 3 overall. The only one who played even or shot halfway decent was Hamby, and she had the 15 points. So she had 1 steal, 2 turnovers, an assist, and 3 rebounds. Keeping her at only 3 rebounds is terrific. Jackson shot 2 for 5 from 3. So she had the 8 points. She had 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, and 2 steals. Let's see. Stevens, Plum. She had 4 assists and 1 turnover, 4 rebounds. Julie Allman, 10 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. The last game, Julie Allman had a triple-double. So you can tell the big difference there. She was 4 for 10 from the floor, 2 for 7 from 3. Cameron Brink had 5 points. She only got 1 block. Last game she got 5. So that was nice. We didn't get our shots swatted. Ray Burrell was 3 for 9, 1 for 5 from 3. She got 3 of her points at the foul line. Plum got 2 of her 4 at the foul line. So she only made 1 basket all game. That's amazing. Van Loo hit a shot. She had 2 points. She got 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. And then Barker, Pilley, and Fagan came in the last 3 minutes. Pilley got a foul shot. So that was it for them. And that accounted for their 59 points. So the Valkyries, we didn't have a huge scoring either, but we had 3 people in double figures. Salon had 11. She had 8 rebounds. She was getting a lot of rebounds. She seemed to be mixing it up in there a lot. She had an assist, a turnover, and 2 steals. She was 4 for 9, 3 for 8 from 3. Zandalacini was 4 for 6 from 3. She had 14 points. 5 for 7 overall. She stopped shooting in the second half, though. I think she only put up 1 shot in the second half. She ended up with 2 blocks, 2 steals, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds. Fagbenley had 8 points, 6 rebounds. She had 3 turnovers, 2 assists. She was 4 for 8 from the floor. Tiffany Hayes, 8 points. She had 6 assists and 7 rebounds. Boy, she was a couple away from a triple-double there. A few more on each of those, and she would have had a triple-double. She was 4 for 10. She went out late in the game. She collided with, I can't remember who she collided with. I think Hamby or Ray Burrell. And it looked like she hurt like her thigh or hip or something. So let's hope she's okay. And then Veronica Burton, 16 points. She had 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 turnover, and she ended up with a block. She ended up catching Julie Alamon driving to the hoop and just got her from behind. She was 3 for 5 from 3, 5 for 9 overall. So she basically shot 60%. She was 3 for 3 from the line. Then Kayla Charles hit a shot. Rupert hit a 3-point shot, and then got 1 more for the foul line. From the foul line, Carla Late had 9 points. That's amazing because she looked like she scored more than that. She hit a 3, and then I guess she had just those 2 hoops driving to the hoop, and then she had 2 points from the foul line. Watching the game, it seemed like she had more points than that, but hey, we won, so I don't care. She had 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 turnover. Caitlin Chen, Kate Martin, and Letitia and me here played the last minute, but none of them scored. Yeah. Martin's the only one that took, she took 2 3-pointers, but didn't hit either of them. So, hey, you know what? It's a win. So we play Connecticut on Monday, and I don't think we're going to experience what we experienced the last time we played Connecticut, or I would hope not. I mean, we were exhausted from the red eye that we had to take to get there. So, and they're coming to Ballhalla, so we should be fine getting on that one. Let me check. So there's 5 games tomorrow, and you have Atlanta and Phoenix. So one of them is going to lose. One of them is going to have 12 losses. And then Dallas and Washington are playing. They're both below us. Minnesota and New York, that ought to be a great game. And then the Sparks are playing the Seattle. So if by chance the Sparks beat Seattle, we're going to jump Seattle because they have 15 losses right now. But if Seattle gets the win, then they're going to be ahead of us because they have more. They've played more games than we have. And then Connecticut is playing. Oh, this is interesting. I just realized this. Connecticut is playing the Aces, and then they play us on Monday. So that's a back-to-back for them. So we should do pretty well playing a team that's playing a back-to-back. Yeah. So depending, our position in the standings can change if the Sparks beat Seattle. But that's going to be a back-to-back for them. The Sparks are going to be in a back because they just played us. But, who knows? Because, but if, oh no, I'm looking at something else. So we have 15 losses. The Aces in Indiana have 14. So if one of them lose, then they're tied with us in the loss column too. So let me just have a look. So we're the only game on Monday. We play Connecticut. And then Tuesday, the Liberty are playing the Sparks. And then Dallas and Indiana play. And then Wednesday, we play the Mystics. Let's see if that's... It's weird how they do it. You can't tell who's home. Oh, and then Atlanta is playing Seattle. So, I don't know. Some things might be changing. And then the Aces have to play New York. And I would highly doubt that the Aces are going to beat New York. So that could put them back down to 15 losses. So if we can take care of Connecticut and beat the Mystics like we did last time, we should be in pretty good shape. Then we play Chicago on Friday. And Seattle and Atlanta are battling again. And then the Aces have Phoenix on Friday. That's going to be tough for them to win. So, a lot of stuff can change here in the next week. We just got to take care of business. These are teams that we should beat. We should beat Connecticut, we should beat Chicago, and we should beat Washington. So that would put us at 18 and 15. And then after that, we're going to have Atlanta. So that'll be a tough game. But I'm pretty sure. Let me see what Atlanta. Yeah, we play them. It says 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. But it doesn't. I don't know if it's. I think it's at Ballhalla. Because we played them at their gym twice already, I believe. So I'm hoping that it's a shock to their system because they play in that small gym and they get a load of Ballhalla and it might screw them up. I don't know. We'll see. But boy, if we can take care of business on those three teams and then get a win at Atlanta, we are in great shape. Because then we have Phoenix. Phoenix they can be up and down, but they lost all those games. Now they're back winning again. So we have to play Phoenix twice, and I was hoping that we could just split with them. Get the game here at Ballhalla, and then who knows what'll happen in Phoenix. But the upcoming schedule is very interesting, and there's some tough games for the other teams that are ahead of us, like Indiana and Vegas and Seattle. They all have tough games coming up, very tough games. We got New York and Minnesota, plenty of that early on. So, we have to play Minnesota 2 of the last 3 games, but I'm hoping they're sitting people by then. So, I don't know. We'll see. It's exciting, though. Okay, that's it for this one. Go Valkyries.